Hi everyone, I'm Ebony and welcome to my channel. So today is Flosstube number 12 and I'm here for my cross-stitching update, and I'll be showing a lot of whips today, so we're going to call it a mini Wip Parade 2. A lot has happened in the last 2 weeks, so yes, I'm going to go in chronological order just so I can talk you through everything and how things came to be. But we've got a lot to talk about, so I'm going to jump straight into the whips. The last time we spoke, I was doing Fancy Friday, so I filmed on that Friday and I said I was going to work on Sal Tropa, which is what I did. So I bought this pattern. I'll pop up a picture of what it looks like when it is done. I bought this pattern, the beads and the threads, all from Arts and Designs, and they were amazing. So I'll show you where I got up to. I'm planning to finish this by September next year, and I'm stitching this with my friend Lucy. So as you can see, I added these beads up on this side and I finished this big leaf over here. The colour of the fabric's blowing out a little bit. This is 28 count Cyan Zest by Llewellyn's Hand Dye Fabrics, and I'm stitching it as called for so far. So them beads are really nice colours. Some bright pinks in there, and all called for. Oh, I did some back stitch as well just to get my placement of the beads. But that is coming along. What else? Oh, I ordered, so I was missing some of the, when I ordered from Arts and Designs, they were out of stock on some of the Krynic and the water lilies. So I made an order with Create Nostalgia to get them, and they were amazing, so I definitely recommend them. I got everything I needed from them. It was here within a couple of days, and yeah, I'll definitely be using them again in the future. So I'll link both Arts and Designs and Create Nostalgia in the description box. Sorry, I've got lots of notes, so I'm going to be ticking off where I'm up to so I can see. And then after that, I went back to my usual 2000 stitch rotation, and next up was A Beautiful Place. Here's what it looks like when it's finished. Sorry, I forgot to do the zips. This is a stitch along with a bunch of people. We started it in June, and it is definitely one of my favourites. So I was really looking forward to getting this out. So you should be seeing a picture of, you should have seen a picture of what it looks like when it's finished. And here is where I got to. So I worked up here in this page, I think. Oh, I finished this page actually first, because this was like all bitty. And then I went up to do diagonal pages. So here, there'll be another tree here, and then this is the side of one of the mountains. So there's that. It's so pretty. To be fair, this is not a pattern that I think I would choose. But I love it. I actually love it. It's so nice to stitch. It's really nice colours, nice flow. I think everyone's enjoying it that started it. So yes, on that one I got 2039 stitches, and that brings it to 8.78%. So I was really happy with that. So at 2039 stitches, I pretty much stopped. As soon as I hit 2000, I stopped and moved on. And because it was, I think it was about 8 o'clock at night, I didn't want to get a whole new project out. So I decided to pull out Mini Together in Paris. And as you probably know if you've watched my videos before, that is my focus piece. So this is like where everything started to shift and plans were coming into place for the rest of the year, because this working on this coincided with life. So I pulled this out anyway, and I only added 250 stitches, so you're probably not even going to see a difference. I think I added them here in this gap between these two tree trunks. So 250 stitches, and that brought it to 34.26%. Now, I worked on this. I didn't enjoy working on this, hence it only got 250 stitches that night. I put it away, and I just felt it wasn't this piece that made me feel like that, but I just felt very overwhelmed, like not just with stitching but just with like life things. So I've not spoke about it before, but it's not a secret. I suffer with anxiety, and when I get very anxious I feel overwhelmed with a lot of things, and the way that I deal with that is to simplify everything. So I simplify my home, I simplify my routine, everything goes back to basics. So I took a break from stitching, I think the next day, and I was decluttering in the house, and that's how I knew that feeling that I was overwhelmed. So I decided to go back to basics with stitching, because the thought of like going through multiple whips just kind of made me not want to stitch. So I had a Christmas gift in mind a couple of years ago, I think it was, maybe last year, that I wanted to stitch for my father-in-law and his partner, and I've just never got round to it. It's not my style, and it kind of scared me a little bit because it's got a lot of back stitch. But I thought, do you know what, I just want to work on a project that I can work on start to finish and not have to worry about rotations or goals or anything like that. So I decided to start it, and I started this with my friend Chrissa, and she's going to help me with the back stitch. I mean, I can back stitch, but I've never done quite so much back stitch. So we started Country Companions. It is from, where is it from? I think it's from the Just Cross Stitch magazine. I do not know what issue, because any patterns I have from magazines are from digital copies from the Readly app. And on the page where I save them, it doesn't say what issue. It just says, like, it shows you the page of the magazine. So yes, here's what it looks like when it is finished. I decided to stitch this on a 32 count chromatic alchemy, and I got all the stitching done. So I worked on this from the Monday after I filmed for a whole week, and I finished it on the following Monday, and I didn't work on anything else. Now, I thought this was a lot smaller, so let's have a look. There is all the stitching. So 32 count chromatic alchemy. This was the first piece of hand-dyed fabric I ever bought, and I cut it with the plans of stitching something on the larger piece, and I never ended up stitching it. So I had this scrap anyway. Well, it's still a good size, and it was just big enough to fit this on. So as you can see, that is a ton of stitching. All that white stitching at the bottom took me forever. And then this background here is all half stitch. It was supposed to be one strand. I didn't read the instructions properly, and I did it with 2 strands. I didn't realise until I went to put in this darker colour, and that darker colour was really, really dark. So I did that bit in the 1 strand and everything else in the 2 strands. But it's going to be really cute. I just need to get the back stitch done. I plan on doing the back stitch at the end of November. I needed a break and I needed to get back to my whips because the week off that I had of my whips, I missed them. I really missed them. So I'm glad that's partly done. This fabric, I think Chromatic Alchemy is out of business now anyway, but it begins with a C. It's not Cirrus, it's the other one. So if you know their fabrics, you probably know which one I'm talking about. But yeah, so that's just waiting for its back stitch. Here's my back, by the way. It's a mess. Because some of these stitches, there was just like one here and then one all the way up there, and I was just travelling. No way was I cutting off. So I stitched that, which I'm really happy with. They love like woodland animals and stuff like that, so they're gonna love that. And I'm planning on maybe stitching something for them each year, woodland themed, to go with their decor. Their decor is very quaint and cute. It's a bit cottage vibes, so that will fit in lovely. So while I was working on that, I had a week to kind of think about what I wanted to do with my stitching, because I knew that wasn't gonna be my new thing, like just stitching monogamously. I mean, I did stitch that monogamously, but I managed to get my anxiety under control during that week and started to feel a lot better. So I decided to jump into the crazy... How I can go from being overwhelmed to this, I don't know. I had the crazy idea to try and get every whip to 5% by the end of the year. Now that includes anything I've recently started and 2 new starts from next month. So, I mean, they're going to be quite the challenge to get under 5% and get up to 5%. But I'm up for the challenge. After a week of stitching monogamously, I thought, do you know what, let's jump straight back in and have some fun. So yes, I decided to get them all to 5%. So I split my whips into 2 lists, obviously. Everything over 5% and anything under 5%. So anything over 5% is put away. I'm not going to work on it until next year. I'm happy with that decision. It gives me fewer things to choose from, and they have enough progress. So everything else is now on my list. And my plan is to get, so from now until the 1st of December, will be to get everything within 1,000 stitches of that 5% goal. So some of them are only 500 stitches away. Before this plan came, 500 stitches away from 5%. So they won't be worked on until December. And then in December, I'm planning to literally knock them out day after day, get 5% on them. And so now is kind of like preparation for December. So I put all them whips on a wheel that I'll be working on for the rest of the year, because I couldn't really choose. So I thought, take the decision out of it, spin the wheel and work on whatever comes up. So the first thing that came up was an Enchanted Place. Here is a picture of what it looks like when it's finished. I've got whips everywhere. And I worked on this and it needed 2,567 stitches to get to 5%. And I added 1,586 to get it to 3.93%. And now this only needs 981 stitches to get to 5%, which will happen in December. So I had loads of fun working on this. The colours are just so good. And this is a stitch along, which I'm hosting. with Dawn Marie from DM's Crafty Vortex and my friend Chrissa. I'll link her Instagram below because then you can follow her progress as well. So go and give her a follow. The light's blowing it out a little bit. I'm sat in front of my patio doors because it's early in the morning and that's the only light, otherwise we'll be in the dark. So what was I saying? Yeah, so I'm hosting this stitch along with those others, and you can still join whenever you want. The hashtag is an Enchanted Place Sal, and we would love to see your progress. But yeah, you can just jump in if you want to. So that's really fun to work on. The colours are just so pretty. My kind of colours, pink and blue. So this now will go away until December, and then in December it will get 981 stitches. Then I hit that. As soon as it got under 1,000, I was like, move on. So I spun the wheel again. Span or spun? I spun it. I spun the wheel again, and mini Sea Opal came. Oops. And this, I've not been telling you what for showing you. So A Beautiful Place, sorry, rewind. A Beautiful Place is artwork by Eda Jose Rosa, and so is An Enchanted Place, and it is charted by Stitches So Beautiful. If I forget any details like that, they'll all be linked down below, and I also have a Google Doc with the spreadsheet of all my whips with everything on it with links as well. And they're both stitched on 25 count 1/1 full cross. So yes, I spun mini Sea Opal. Here's what it looks like when it's finished. This is artwork by Elizabeth Welker, and it's charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This one was kindly enabled by Leanne from Small Town Stitches, the lovely Leanne, and she's stitching this as well. So if you've not seen her channel, go over and see. She's got some great whips. Yes, so hers is a restart as well, so we kind of started it together kind of thing. This one needed 1,600 stitches to get to 5%, and I added 844, and that is where I got to. So the 844 got me to 4.28%, and it needs 756 to get to the 5%. Bring 9. So that's coming along really nice. I was speaking to Leanne about this because when I'm working on it, I feel like it's taking forever. But then when I look at how much I've done, it's like the progress just builds quite quickly. So that is getting put away until December. Put this back on. I'm back in its bag. Then my third spin was yesterday, and I spun Water Nymph. Here is what it looks like when it's finished. This is charted by Blushing Pink Stitches, and the artwork is from Vanilla Art. And I was stitching this 25 count 1/1 full cross, and it's still in the Q-snap because I'm still working on it. I've been working on it last night and this morning, and I'll work on it after this video as well. So this one needed 2,345 stitches to get to 5%. It's still in the Q-snap, but you're not missing anything, it's all blue. So far I've added 906 stitches, and I still need 1,439 to get it to the 5%. So I'll probably put another 500 stitches in this before I put it away. So I've just been working down here, trying to get this. This is the bottom of the page, this little corner, so I'll probably get that done and then put it away till December. So 5% on this piece is a big amount. I think it's like, sorry, I had to cut that out. I just knocked over my Lowry stand, so it made a big bang. Yeah, it's over 20,000 stitches to get this to 5%, from 0 to 5%. So it's a big one. And that brings us to now. So today I'm going to finish working on Water Nymph. But while we're talking about this plan that I have, I thought I would go through and show you what else is on the list, and how many it needs to get to 5%. So this is the mini Wip Parade part, and we're just gonna, I've got a washing basket here with all the whips in that I'll be working on from now until the end of the year, and we'll go through them and see how much we need to put on them. So this one is, I don't know until I open it. This one is I See You in My Dreams. It is a huge piece. The artwork, look at this. This is half of it. The artwork is Genovia Art, and it is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. Stitched 25 count, 1/1 full cross. And there it is. So let me check. This one needs, so currently it's at 2.70%, and it needs 9,687 stitches to get to 5%, which is obviously a lot of stitches. So I am looking forward to giving this some really focused stitchy time, and I'll be working on that second page. So yes, this is why this plan is so crazy, because there is a lot of stitches still left to put into some of these projects. They're not all, like when I spun the wheel, it was picking the smaller goals, but they're not all small. That's nearly 10,000 stitches in the next month. The next one. So the next one is Magic Roses. Here is what it looks like when it is finished. This one is currently at 3.36%, and it needs 5,251 stitches to get to 5%. Oh, and that's where I'm starting. So I'll be again working on the second page, and give it another 5,000 stitches this year. All this planning has got me right in the planning mood, and I've been planning what I want to do for next year, and a lot of it is pretty similar to what I'm doing now. I want to get everything to 5% at least, instead of doing like a mad rush at the end. The next one is Painted Tiger. Here is what it looks like when it is finished. This one I started at the retreat in September last month. This is a piece for my son. I think I said that this one I could finish by his birthday if I did 1,000 stitches a week. That's not true. I redid the maths, and obviously I messed up somewhere, so that idea got ditched straight away. This one is currently at 1.66%, and it needs 3,834 stitches to get to 5%. Here is the needle minder I picked up at the retreat as well. So that one's going to get some time, which will be nice, because I've only worked on this that one time and then I've put it away. The next one is Stained Glass Butterfly. Here's what it looks like when it is finished. And here's where we're starting. So this one is currently at 3.88%. Last time I worked on it, I got that page finished. And it still needs 2,265 stitches to get it to 5%. Oh, love this one. Love it. I'm really looking forward to working on some of these, because with the 2,000 stitch rotation, sometimes I'm not ready to move on, which I know I'm the boss of my own stitching. I can do whatever I want, but like in my mind I'm thinking, right, move on, because I do miss them. Like when they go right to the bottom of the list again, I miss them, and for them to come right back to the top, because I've got so many. But you can't have it all, I guess. The next one is called Is It Friday Yet? I've not been saying all the things. Ugh, I'm so bad at it. I'll just say it from now on, and on the other ones I'll put it on the screen. I might just do that in future, and then I don't even have to think about it, because every single time I film, I'm like, oh, I forgot to tell you. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Like, I have one job, just say the things. Anyway, Is It Friday Yet? It is charted by Cross Stitch for Everyone, and the artwork is Soe Richer. It's by Soe Richer. This one I'm stitching with my friend Chrissa. And here's where we're starting. So, Is It Friday Yet? Is at 3.56%, and it needs 1,611 stitches to get it to 5%. So I think, yeah, we said last time we're going to work across, but I think I've still got some more on this page to do before I can move on. So that'd be nice to get back to that one. The next one is She Sleeps. She Sleeps was, I was enabled by Nicola from Simply a Stitcher, and I was admiring this for a long time before I got it, but in the end I just gave in and got it. This one is, so if you want to see someone that's done quite a lot on it, go to Nicola's channel. She's over 50% now. Last time I saw, she was working on the eye, like the closed eye. It looks great. So this one, oh, needs a lot. This one's only at 1.30%, and it needs 5,515 stitches to get to 5%. So that's where I'm up to. This has got some really, really nice colours in. The reds are so pretty. And the corals. Really, really nice. And it has a lot of 819 in that face. So a lot of light stitching in my future, as per usual. Would we expect anything different? I don't think so. This one is Little Ocean. This is charted by Blushing Pink Stitches again, and this is from Morgana Fantasy AI, I believe. And 25 count, 1/1. And here is where I'm starting. Let me find it on my spreadsheet. So this one is at 4.53%, and it only needs 941 stitches to get to 5%. So this will not even come out this month. But I'm just going to finish this page here, and then I'm going to move on to this flower. I want to see the flower centre. So that'll be fun. I don't even think I'll get to that actually with, what, 1,000 stitches till next year. So whatever. And the last, I'm missing a whip. I'll grab it. The last one is Sweet Summertime, charted by Contemporary Cross. Artwork is by Andrea Lavery, and I've done quite a lot on this one this year. And this is at 4.8%, so very, very close. And it only needs 504 stitches. So God knows where I'm going to add them. Probably over here, because there's a lot of block stitching over here, so I could probably knock out 500 stitches in a couple of hours. And give that time to something that needs it. I'll be right back. I'm just going to find my lost project. Found it. It wasn't lost. I just not got it out of the cupboard. So the last one is, I think, my most recent start. It is Sunset at Hogsmeade. It is by an Etsy shop that I'll link below. Because I don't know how to say it. And this one I started with a group of people out of our group chat, and it was for Kathy's birthday. So this one is only at 0.46% and it still needs 8,339 stitches. So yeah, some of them are, like I said, I've got huge goals, huge amounts to get to the goal even. But that is everything I will be working on. So that's everything I'm going to be working on from now until the end of the year. I do like having the Fancy Friday, so I'm unsure whether I'm going to use the Fancy Friday for fancy pieces or whether I'm just going to be hammering out those stitches that I need to get. There is 2 more projects actually that I forgot to mention. There are going to be 2 new starts, so they might not get to the 5%, but I won't be too disappointed if they don't, because they've not even been started yet. The first one is Castle. There's a bunch of us stitching that one. And the second one is Arabic Princess. That is a new release from Hade, and that's part of a stitch along with Varney from Thread the Needle, and Chris is stitching it as well. So I think the hashtag that we came up with, I'll put it on the screen, can't remember it. So if you want to join us on that, feel free. I still need to get the pattern. So I've ordered the threads though, so I'll start that whenever my threads come in. So if they don't get to 5%, then I'm not going to be really, I'll just try and get that 5% up in the beginning of the year, I think. And I've still got another New Year, New Start as well, which will be her journey. There's just too much, isn't there? So my niece is here. She's staying with us. Well, she stayed with us last night and we had a sleepover and we had a really good evening. And I taught her how to stitch last year, and she's got a whip that she would like me to show. She did want to be in this video. Well, not in the video, but behind the camera passing me things to help me. But she's still asleep. It's 9 o'clock, so they're having a lie-in. She wanted me to show you her project, and I thought I would show my sons as well while we're here. So I taught them both to stitch last year at the same time. They both wanted a similar pattern. They wanted the football, like on the back of a football shirt, and it has the name and the number. They wanted that, but just that, and I couldn't find anything with the footballers that they wanted, so I just charted something really simple. They just wanted to stitch it in black, so, oh my god, this still has a needle on it. This has been in this bag for about well, since last year. So I'll show you my son's, because my son did finish his. The green fabric is just so it would fit in the hoop, because it was a little scrap of Ada. And it's filthy because it's my son's. So you might see some little grubby marks. But this is what he stitched. This is 14 count Ada. And Neymar Jr. was his favourite player. It's since changed. I don't even know who his favourite player is now. Changes all the time. So he stitched that. He did a really good job. I think for both of them, I was starting and ending the threads for them. But he did so good. Bless him. It took him a couple of days, but he did not put it down for the whole time. So, but he's not asked for any other stitching since. So I don't push him or try and make him. Not try and make him, but try and encourage him. I'll wait for him if he wants to stitch something. And he did last night ask, when we were talking about this, they both asked for something new to stitch. So I said, my niece can finish this, and once she finishes this, we will look on it and see what we can find. But they're both football mad. So my niece's is football too. Hers is a similar thing, but hers is a different player, and hers isn't finished yet, but this is where she got to. So it's going to say Haaland, and I think he's number 9, plays for Manchester City. She's a huge City fan. I don't know what happened here. On this egg, can you see where it's darker? She must have double crossed some of them or something. But how old is she? She's 12, and my son is... Oh my god, I forgot them. He's 9. Parent of the Year award. I keep still thinking he's 8, but he's obviously 9 now. So yeah, hopefully they'll get back to that if they so choose, and I'll help them. And I think that is everything. So I'm just going to carry on with what I've spoke about. I'm unsure about the Fridays, but we'll just see. I'm under no pressure about the Fridays. Like, the Sal Tropa, obviously I want to get finished by September, but if I don't work on it from now until December, it's not going to be like, oh well, I can't finish it. I can just focus on it next year. So, and I'm quite happy with the plans that I've set myself. Yes, they are lofty goals, but if I don't get them, I'm not bothered about it. So it's not stressful, it's just fun. So yeah. I almost forgot, there is 2 UFOs. So I am UFOing flamboyance. Did I say UFO? Yeah, I'm UFOing 2 flamboyance of flamingos. Here is what it looks like when it's finished. This was my bedtime stitch, and I spoke to you last week about the fabric. I just can't get on with it. No, I just don't like it. I'm not going to stitch it. So I will stitch the pattern. I'll restart it at a later date. So I've since found out, Kay messaged me, the Sussex stitcher. She messaged me and said, I've had fabric like that before. It is like a mono canvas. And I was like, oh God. So I went to Hobby Jobby's website and looked at what I'd ordered, and it did say needlepoint fabric. So it was completely my error. Well, it said needlepoint canvas. So yeah, that's gone. And then also I am UFOing Whimsy. This I started at the retreat in September, and at the retreat I just couldn't settle into it. Then the thought of putting like 10,000 stitches in to get to 5%, I didn't want to. So if I went to, and all my other whips apart from one, that tells me everything I need to know. And then when I was looking at the artwork, I thought there was like a flower on her face or something. And then when I looked, it looks like a cut, so I'll put it up and you can see, but it looks like she's got like blood on her face, and I don't know about that. And also I was doing it as a pattern, like I was testing the pattern, and the company that I got it from is since no longer in business, so I don't need to test the pattern. It is a shame, but I've got enough to be getting on with. So, going forward, my bedtime stitch is now stained glass ochre, and I'll show you that next time. I forgot to bring it down. It's in my bedside table. And that's just filling in black, so it's nice and easy. Right, that's enough waffling. I need a brew and probably wake them kids up soon. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you if you're new. Also, I've had quite a lot, well, every video I get quite a lot of increase in subscribers, and I always forget to say, like, professional Flosstubers are like, welcome to my channel, welcome back. I just get flustered and don't say it, but if you are new, I do hope you enjoyed what you've seen, and if you're returning, then thank you very much for coming back. And yes, thank you so much for watching, commenting, liking and subscribing. Everything should be in the description box below, because I know I've butchered all the details, so go down there if you need anything, and I'm always available if you have any questions. So yes, I will see you in 2 weeks, and yeah, I better get stitching. I've got a lot to do. So thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.